Hello, and welcome back to the 14.10 patch rundown 2.0, because I need to make some corrections, but there'll be some timestamps in the play bar if you want to go to a certain point in the video. So starting off, we're going to talk about the best item builds, because that's mostly what people care about. So, the best item builds on this patch is starting Black Cleaver, then Strikebreaker, then Starax, then Jack Show, then Overlord's BLOODMAIL. Overlord's BLOODMAIL is a new item to the game. It says, gain 2% of your bonus health as attack damage, it gives you 40 AD, 500 health, and it costs 3,300. Its secondary passive is gain up to 10% base attack damage on your missing health. Urgot is a very good bait and switch champion, so I'm sure everyone watching is an Urgot main, you know that if people approach you on low HP, they're going to be very eager to kill you. And you press E, and then you one-shot them. Overlord's BLOODMAIL perfectly suits this purpose and has amazing synergy with Starax, because obviously when you're shielded, your health bar is low, but you're still getting more bonus AD from Overlord's BLOODMAIL due to your HP threshold. So Overlord BLOODMAIL is a perfect Urgot item, and you're going to be buying it later in the game. So Overlord's BLOODMAIL is a 4th or 5th item, or 5th or 6th item. 4th item is probably too early, because obviously this wants to benefit from scaling HP. So Overlords now fits that void of like a good last game item for Urgot, because it really feels in Urgot that you spike on one item, you spike on 2 items, you spike on 3, and then you never really spike again. Overlord fixes this item. Strikebreaker is also now a core item in my opinion, due to the meta. Every single champion you're running into, and every single composition you're running into, is ranged champions. So, you want to run Strikebreaker pretty much every single lobby. Even if you're against melee champions, Strikebreaker gets amazing value. I think Strikebreaker has been slept on for a very long time. So here are the build paths. So, here are the definitive build paths of this patch. There's 3 or 4 in my opinion, so let me just burst them out for you. The graphic will be on Twitter, linked in the description, if you want to bookmark this or come back to it later. So, the best build path is Black Cleaver into Strikebreaker, then Starax, then Jack Show, then Overlord's BLOODMAIL. You can put Overlord's BLOODMAIL before Jack Show, but I feel like this is the best build path, best available build path for you is probably this build path. The second build path is Hullbreaker, and then you're going to go into Stridebreaker immediately. So this is when you understand your lane opponent is somebody considerably worse than you. So you go Hullbreaker to take their tower, then you go Stridebreaker to continue pushing your lead, because you can E forwards. So you can E forwards without needing E to land on them to kill them. So you do E, then Stridebreaker, then you force a DPS trade. So Hullbreaker, Stridebreaker, Starax, Black Cleaver, Overlord's BLOODMAIL, you forsake resistances in favor of winning more. So if you were the type of player who liked the Faculty Urgot, this playstyle is going to be the most available to you. So I highly recommend this build path. The alternate build path to the first build path is Black Cleaver into Starax, then Stridebreaker, and then same as the first build path. So these are the best build paths on the patch IMO, and now we're going to talk about items and how they've changed. So, items that have changed is Shojin. Shojin has been... Well, Urgot got changed, not Shojin. Shojin didn't change at all. Urgot got changed in a way that his W doesn't work as a spell anymore. So Urgot W previously was applying Shojin on its W. So you'd immediately stack W and you get the damage amp on W, but now Urgot W doesn't count as a spell, so it doesn't stack Shojin with W, it stacks Shojin on your passive, Q, E, and R. So Shojin goes from about S, like low S tier, to like high B tier. I don't recommend Shojin being broadly built anymore. Unfortunately, it is what it is, but of course we got a better Black Cleaver in return, so we're not really bothered about that. Speaking of Black Cleaver goes from armor reduction from 5% to 6% per stack, maxing out to 30% armor pen, which means Black Cleaver is incredibly buffed. This is the old Black Cleaver, which makes Urgot even better. Now, talking about runes, because there's a bit of runeage to go over. There's this one new rune in the inspiration page. If I can remember that, let me give me a couple seconds. So, there's this one new sub-rune in the inspiration page, which I find very interesting. It is called Cashback. So what Cashback does is it gives you 6% of any item you buy. That's a legendary item. So if you full buy Starax is 3,200, you're going to get 200 gold back. Times this by 6 of every item you're buying, that's 1,200 gold. That's free money, and Urgot's biggest problem is economy. Obviously, getting your items is the biggest breakpoints in Urgot. So I think Cashback will become a core rune on Urgot if you run Inspiration Secondary like I do. So I will be running Cashback every single lobby. Obviously, you're gonna, on average, get like 950, 1,000 gold from this rune page. But that's just free money. That's free solo kills worth of money throughout the lobby for free. So Cashback, I highly recommend taking this. For the other runes, they have changed Fleet Footwork and PTA. First, I'll cover PTA. So, press the attack currently works when you hit 3 autos on somebody, you expose them for 8% damage from all sources. What they're changing Press the Attack into is if you hit somebody 3 times, you now just gain 8% damage to everybody. So you're no longer exposing damage on one singular target for your team to enhance damage on. Press the Attack just gives you 8% more damage. So this is like mini Conqueror basically, but actually viable in Urgot because you can use it with ease. Conqueror is bad because it takes too long to scale, and it doesn't let you play to Urgot's burst identity. But Press the Attack allows you to do this. I think this is like a mini nerf in some kind of ways, but then also a buff in some kind of situations. But PCA ultimately is going to be worse than Fleet, especially with this change they did to Fleet. So they've nerfed Fleet footwork also because Fleet footwork was overperforming in like pretty much every single way. The movement speed duration from Fleet is going up to 1 second to 1.25 seconds, but the heal is going down from 10 to 130 to 8 to 110. So this is aimed at hurting its early sustain and its late game sustain. However, Urgot has a unique way to interact with Fleet that in the fact that his W works towards energizing Fleet. Urgot on average can get like 450 health from going to the Krugs if the wave is pushed out. So let's say your wave is pushing and you're low, just go to Krugs, turn on W, walk away. If you have Cole, you'll heal like 500. Without Cole, it's about 350, 400, but you know, it's just like pretty much a lane hack. If you're not already doing that strategy, you should probably do that in your Sudoku games. It's very OP. But Fleet is ultimately still going to be better in PCA. I think so. I don't like Fleet. I think Fleet being core is goo goo gaga and is encouraging really defensive gameplay. So remains to be seen. I think Fleet and PTA are definitely S in their own rights, but Fleet is slightly better probably. It remains to be seen. The main reason we run Fleet is for like reliable scaling. Urgot has that with Fleet, so we'll see. But keep in mind, PTA mini nerfed and then buffed in other aspects. Fleet footwork is just overall nerfed, because you're not really running Fleet for the movement speed anyway. One of the bigger changes is lethal tempo being removed. So this fixes the issues of the Yone matchup in the early games and the Yasuo. So any top laner who is running lethal tempo into you, like maybe you run into lethal tempo Shen, Trundle, Volibear, etc., they're going to be a lot weaker to Urgot early game. So this is a big indirect buff to Urgot because, it just removes bad matchups. So on the screen right now, you're going to be seeing what's been happening to all top laners but Urgot. So on the left side, this is other top laners. This is Urgot. If you're wondering why about Urgot like getting nerfed or whatever, they are 100% going to get nerfed because of how Urgot is just benefiting from everything. So other top laners have been about here. Keep in mind, top lane, this is power, by the way. So this is power. Other top laners have been very powerful because solo queue just demands top laners to be powerful. But all these solo queue champions have been so powerful, and they've had power drained from them. But since Urgot has been like left alone from patch notes, all other top laners have been like gradually going to like this point of like stagnation. So about like 55%. The top lane champions are meant to be OP because that's what top lane demands. Urgot has been doing the reverse of this. So Urgot was in season 13, like late season 13, he was down here. But since every other champion is getting less and less powerful, Urgot is kind of like scaling up to the point of like he's just the king of top lane right now. So yes, they are probably going to nerf Urgot because this is what has been happening for like 2 to 3 seasons at this point. Everybody has forgotten Urgot is this, and since every other top laner is getting nerfed, indirectly nerfed, Urgot's getting like 20 indirect buffs. This is what's happening to Urgot, and that's why he's going to get nerfed. When they nerf him, I don't know what they'll do. I incorrectly predicted they were going to nerf his passive damage. Instead, they took armor scaling away from him. It was like a love tap of a nerf. It wasn't enough. So, Urgot most likely gets nerfed again, unfortunately. My main problem with this is they should just nerf Fleet. Fleet is the main direct cause to why Urgot is so good and reliable. Because if you give a scaling champion a way to mitigate all laning phases, and then you encourage defensive gameplay, he's just going to sit there and win. So IMO, don't nerf Urgot, nerf Fleet. Urgot is not the cause of the issues, but I understand nerfing Urgot if they do it, because Urgot is so strong, because they keep indirectly nerfing everything else, and indirectly buffing Urgot. Like right now, they just gutted lethal tempo, and this fixes Yasuo and Yone. So now Urgot gets to the moon now. So yeah, I will leave a matchup tier list after this. You can just see it on Twitter. But this is what is good against Urgot right now. This is what's bad against Urgot right now, in my opinion. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer every comment. I usually answer every comment. If I don't answer it, I will heart it, because I do read every single comment. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and hope you have a good day. Remember to subscribe. Subscribe.